Hi, loves. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I laughed a bunch of times trying to write like a very profound email about the heart and ended up just sort of like deleting it. But I think the truth is that there's just so much to say about working with the heart space. And I alluded to this a little bit in the email about how, I think it really did feel radical for me at first when I was teaching to just be teaching about love and to be teaching about ease and joy and pleasure, right? And that heart being an access point. And I still think that's incredibly radical and really essential and something that we don't often spend a lot of time studying or sitting with, you know? And I think, what I was naming in the email is that love in its most expansive form is about depth, right? That love in its most expansive form is about embracing ease and discomfort in the same breath, and being on the journey and finding something to hold on to amidst the fluctuations, right? Something that is true and real and steady in yourself, in your relationships, in your community, in your identity. And maybe the truth of all of that is that none of it is ever staying the same. It is always changing and shifting. But when we talk about heart work, when we talk about accessing anahata, which is the heart space, the word in Sanskrit for unstruck or uncaused, as in like at the beginning there was the bang, the word, and it caused all these other things to come into being in all of the origin myths. But the word uncaused guides us to imagine what existed before the word, before the bang, before the beginning. It invites us to consider what is eternal. And I think maybe what is eternal is the search. The search. We could say for all sorts of things: ourselves, each other, connection, community, healing, recharging. But the search is forever. Welcome. So Naira Wahid is a beautiful, beautiful poet, and I was just reading some of the beautiful words that encapsulate what I think of when I think about heart work, which is love, but it's also, this one called The Fix, getting yourself together. What about undoing yourself? And there was another one. Fall apart. Please just fall apart. Open your mouth and hurt. Hurt the size of everything it is. I'm just getting really curious about why at this point when I think about heart work, I think about being with pain and challenge. I think it's because we've been developing these practices of love, of self-love, of love for others as a manifestation of the divine in the practice of bhakti, right? They say, like, if you're looking for God, you don't have to look any farther than the person sitting to your right. With all of these practices of love, what are they for? They're for nourishment. They're for holding us as we move through the incredible raw beauty of being with both ease and pain. Both are an equal invitation into the aliveness and into your deepest capacity. So let your eyes close for a moment and just consciously invite yourself into the space at the center of your chest, at your sternum. You can breathe into the front of the heart space. You can breathe into the back of the heart space behind your shoulders. Let this space come alive with breath, with presence, and with a divine and honest invitation to feel what you feel. To feel what you've been waiting to feel. And to welcome in the sensation and the struggle and the wisdom and the comfort of allowing ourselves to arrive with what has been asking for our attention. And a big breath in to ventilate all around, all that you're holding. And a big exhale, not to let it go, but to allow new air to come in. We can be holding something so precious and still be re-ventilating and reimagining. Palms together in front of your heart. They can be placed on the heart even to get a real sense of it. And just give yourself a moment to honor the willingness of your own system to arrive in a practice of bravery and of feeling. And we'll start with an om or a sound that feels right to you. Take a deep breath in. When you're ready, making your way to child's pose. If you need another pose on the way, by all means. As always, you're moving at your speed, listening to your body, knowing that the body is here as a container for these emotions and for these processes. So a container to be cared for, but the container isn't everything that we're here to pay attention to. So enough care for the container that we get to settle awareness into what is within it and what is inside. And you can keep breathing in child's pose, or at any moment, if it feels good, you could transition towards puppy dog pose, lifting your seat and melting your heart and your chin down towards the mat. Tailbone reaches up towards the sky. Just be really gentle with the shoulders and neck. You can always pad under your chest and heart with a pillow here. Slow, deep breaths. When you're ready, draw your heart forward. Come onto your belly for cobra pose. Inhale to lift up. Exhale back down to the earth. Inhale, cobra pose. Stretch back through the tops of your toes. Peel your heart up. Exhale, fold in. One more time, cobra pose. Inhale, lift up, lengthen. Exhale to lower back through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out here. Lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, walk up to the top of your mat. Take your time. Halfway lift, lengthen your heart forward. Exhale, fold in. Walk your feet out, hips width or wider. Breathe into the back of your heart here. Let it really swell and stretch. Any arm variation that feels right for your body. Let
Let your head be soft towards the earth. Good. When you're ready, you'll release your arms, bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, and slowly roll up to standing. Feel the back of your heart breathing you up, and then chin and heart lift. Stretch your arms up. Hands to your heart. Soft jaw. Inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Stretch through the back of the heart. Inhale, step your right foot back. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your left foot back. Even here in high plank, it can be a heart opener. Melt your heart between your shoulders. Soften through the back of your heart a little bit. Spread your shoulder blades wide. Take a deep inhale. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Slowly, right leg up and back into the sky. Full inhale. Step your right foot forward, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Drop your back knee down. Inhale, sweep your arms up. You could stay right here. You could interlace your fingers, point your fingers face up towards the sky. Lengthen through your side body and then soften behind the heart so that your throat can lift a little bit and your shoulders can roll back. Your gaze might be slightly up towards the sky. It's a softening rather than like a crank open. Big inhale here. Exhale, keep the arms, stretch out, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, warrior three, launch forward. Good, chair pose, left foot meets the right, release the arms. Swim your fingers to your lower back, interlace your fingers, inhale, open through your chest. Exhale, fold, lift your hands up and over your head. Bend your right knee, knuckles to the right, look under your left shoulder. Breathing into the back space of the heart here. Good, find center. Bend the left knee, knuckles to the left, look over to the right. Find center, release the arms down by your sides. Halfway lift, deep breath. Exhale, fold. All the way up to standing, reach tall. Heart lifts, hands to your heart. Exhale. Find the touch point at your center. Chair pose, sit back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left foot back, lengthen your spine. Right foot back, high plank. Breathe into the front and back of your heart here. Take a big inhale. Lift your hips. Exhale. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot forward, low lunge. Take your time. Reach your arms up, back knee down. You can interlace your fingers. Reach up with your index fingers and soften just a bit behind your heart. A gentle curve in the upper middle back. How can it be just enough to make space for opening, but not so much that tension comes in? On your next inhale, start to reach your fingertips forward, tuck your back toes, find your heart steady, and then reach out and forward. Warrior three. You can change the arms at any time. Chair pose, right foot meets the left. Good, all the way up to standing. Step onto your right foot, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Stretch your left leg back behind you, airplane pose. Roll your shoulders back, feel the front of your heart broaden. Inhale here. Step back, warrior one, bend your front knee. Inhale, reach your arms up. Cactus your elbows, soften behind your heart. So you can feel as we come into these heart opening shapes, the throat has a lot going on there, right? There's a lot of connection between heart and throat. And they can adopt each other's tension. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Hands swim to your low back. Interlace your fingers. Straighten your right leg. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, bend your right knee. Humble warrior, fold forward. You get to titrate the experience of vulnerability here, right? Hands can stay at the low back for a little bit more grounding in your back foot. If you feel like you have the curiosity and breath that wants to take you, you can lift your hands up and let your weight come more into the front foot. But there's no forcing. There's just checking in with where you're invited. Good. Release the interlace. Let your left arm lead. Warrior two. Lift you up. Flip your palms. Exalted warrior. Breathe into the space across the front of your chest here. Good. Big inhale. Exhale. Hands to the earth. Sweep your right leg up and back. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. Stretch your right leg up and back. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Back knee down. Twist to the right. Lizard twist. Maybe reaching back for a bind. Right hand to your left toes. And squeeze your left heel towards your left bum cheek. Release your back foot. Tiptoe your right foot in between your hands. Tuck your back toes. Straighten your front leg. Triangle pose. Peel the chest open. Big circle. Left arm comes down by your hip and around. Bend your front knee. Half moon. Breathe into the back of your heart here. Chair pose when you're ready. All the way up to standing, hands to your heart. Good. Weight in the left foot. Hug your right knee in towards your chest. Stand tall. And then stretch it back, airplane pose. Spread your fingers. Feel your belly and chest stretch and broaden towards the earth. Taking up lots of space here. Take a big inhale. Bend your front knee. Warrior one feet. Stretch your arms up. And then cactus your elbows when you're ready. Left shoulder pulls back just slightly. Good. Stretch your arms up. Big breath in. Hands swim to your lower back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale. Lift your heart. Straighten your left knee. Exhale. Bend your knee. Humble warrior. Bow forward. As much or as little weight in the front foot as feels good to you. If it feels wobbly, send more weight into the back foot. Find your anchor here. Release the interlace when you're ready. Right arm leads. Warrior two. Flip your palms. Exalted warrior. The lower back likes to take over in the stretch, right? So send your tailbone down so that the back of your heart and your upper back can find some spaciousness. Big inhale. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Sweep your left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Left leg extends long behind you. Left foot outside your left hand. Low lizard. Drop your back knee. Hand to your knee. Look up and over your shoulder. Stay here and breathe into the back of your heart or reach back. Left hand to your right toes. Feel the support of the earth underneath you as the heart opens. What's that relationship of finding the ground underneath you and feeling like you have space to expand? When you're ready, release your back foot, walk your left foot in between your hands, tuck your back toe, lift your back heel down, triangle pose. Peel your chest open. Again here, the more rooted I find my feet and legs, the more spacious in the heart and in the chest. Right arm circles down by your right hip and around. Bend your front knee, half moon. Press down, expand out. Chair pose. All the way to standing, hands to your heart. Hook your thumbs, spread your fingers like little butterfly wings. Inhale, reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, right knee down to the earth. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth, left leg up and back into the sky. Knee to left tricep, hug it in. Inhale, sweep it up and back. Left foot forward, high lunge. Inhale, lift up. Go ahead, swim your hands to your low back. Interlace your fingers, open through your chest. Warrior three. Shift your heart forward. Lift your back foot up. Good. All the way up to standing. Release your interlace. Hug your right knee in. Tree pose. Right knee out to the right. Could be a little kickstand on the earth. Could be above or below your knee. And then what arm variation helps you connect to your heart space? It might be hands to heart or hands behind your heart. Or there might be some uplifted variation that lets you feel some spaciousness and breeze along your upper chest. Part of heart work is giving yourself space to rest. So pause, let it go if you need to, come back in. Let your hands come together in front of your heart, right knee in, foot to the floor, shake it out. Top of the mat, hook your thumbs. Inhale, reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot back, left knee to the earth. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Right leg up and back. Big breath in. Knee to right tricep. Squeeze it in. Inhale, sweep it up. Right foot forward, high lunge. Take your time. Inhale to rise. Hands swim to your low back. Interlace your fingers. Open through your heart. Spacious through your throat. And then bow forward. Warrior three. Point your left toes down towards the earth. And take your time to come to standing. Release the interlace. Hug your left knee in. And tree pose. Let your breath come and fill your heart, fill your arms. Let your gaze find a steady point.
through center. When you're ready, release, shake it out. Top of the mat, hook your thumbs, inhale, reach up, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Chaturanga or step back to high plank. If you're in high plank, take an inhale and then chaturanga on your exhale. We'll meet in upward facing dog. And stretch it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Stretch your right leg up and back. Right foot forward, warrior two. Flip your palms, exalted warrior, lift. Half moon, step onto your right foot. Bend your lifted leg, reach back left hand to your left toes. Chapasana. Press your foot into your hand. Spiral your heart open. Woo. If you have to release and reset, perfect. Whenever you're ready, Skandasana to the back. Left bum cheek to your left heel. Take your time with it. Good. Spider around to the top of the mat. Peel up onto the ball of your back foot. Left hand down, right arm up towards the sky. Twist open. Firm your left shoulder onto your back, outer edge of your left foot. Step your right foot back. Any expression of side plank. And wild thing, if you like, step your right foot back behind you. Peel open through your heart, through your belly. Good. Take your time to unwind. Right knee to right tricep. Sweep your right leg up and back. Good. Right shin comes forward. Puffed pigeon. Grab a block or a pillow, snuggle it under your right bum cheek. Slide your hands back. And just find some length from the tail all the way up through the spine. Broaden through the chest and heart. And maybe your chin, maybe your arms lift slightly. Good. Release your hands if they lifted up. Take a breath here. Exhale, fold forward. So just like we were breathing into the front of the heart in the lifted variation, now as we fold, there's space to breathe into the back of the heart here. Oh, buddy, what's wrong? Come here. You're okay. Okay. And just notice how in inviting in attention in the heart, maybe some of the other parts of the body get invited into presence and awakeness. Maybe there's relaxation there in the presence, maybe not, right? Maybe it's another sensation, but it's presence nonetheless. It's an infusion of aliveness in the parts that we're breathing into. Sort of walk your hands back in towards you. If you need more time, by all means, take it. We're just going to drop onto the right bum cheek. Sweep the left, sweep the left leg around. Step the left foot out in front of you. Spread the toes on your left foot. Lengthen up through your heart.
And we're gonna launch forward to standing splits. Hands come down, right toes stretch up and back. Feel the back of your heart stretching open here as the head hangs heavy. Go ahead, step your right foot all the way back. High lunge, lift up. Bring your hands in towards your heart. Take a big breath in. Exhale, twist to the left. Any way you like. Arms can open. You can bring your hand down. You could hook your elbow. I used to think that twisting was all about the belly. You know? I mean, yes, it is, right? Of course, you're twisting around your belly. But as my practice has shifted, it's become that twisting is really about letting the heart lead. Because the head can so easily crank us around in a twist. And yet it feels so much more intuitive in my body, and you can play with this, to let the heart be what's guiding how far and how deep the twist goes. Good. Make your back heel springy. Hands together. Chair twist when you're ready. Unless there's a cattail underneath you, your right foot is going to meet your left. Chair pose at center. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Chaturanga step or hop back. Take your time. Cobra or upward facing dog. Good. Stretch back, downward facing dog. Big inhale. Exhale all the way out. Stretch your left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward. Warrior two. Flip your palms, exalted warrior. Lift. And half moon when you're ready. Stepping onto your left foot. Bend your right knee, reach back for Chapasana. Kick your right foot into your right hand a little bit. Take your time to release Skandasana to the back. Right bone cheek to your right heel. And then slowly we'll pivot around to the top of the mat. Peel your back heel up, right hand down, left arm up towards the sky. Twist open with your heart. Feel your right shoulder blade plug into the back of your heart. Roll to the outer blade of your right foot. Pick your left foot up. Step it back, side plank. And then at any point, if you want to lift your left foot and step behind you for wild thing, feel free. Good. When you unflip, left knee to left tricep. Sweep your leg up and back. Left shin comes forward, puffed pigeon. Grab your pillow. Prop yourself up a little bit so that the front of your pelvic bowl can lift slightly and your tailbone can descend. What happens when you close your eyes and feel a fountain of energy of your breath coming up from the root at the base of your pelvis, up through your womb space, your sacral space, up through the solar plexus space, all the way up through the ribs to the center of the heart space. The heart isn't just floating alone, having to hold itself up. There's something really beautiful about remembering that it's part of a larger architecture of energetic evolution and support. Arms might lift, whatever feels right to you at the peak of that opening, and then folding forward when you're ready. Press down into your forearms and you can really breathe into the width of your upper middle back. I feel like the idea of having a back door to the heart was really revolutionary for me, because there are so many reasons why the front of us ends up needing to be defended. And sometimes it's open to invitation to open, and sometimes it's not, right? So the idea that there might be another way in to feeling, to being with self, a way that's maybe slightly less patterned, was really exciting to me. Like another pathway into experiencing the inner world, with maybe just a few less bricks that we had to dismantle before entering. Yes, the path is forever scattered with debris and rocks, and when we find a clearer path, sometimes it can be really sweet to allow ourselves to take it. So letting the back of your heart lift you here, puffing up there to walk your hands back in. You're just going to drop onto your left tush, sweep your right leg around, step your right foot out in front of you. And that same alignment of root, sacrum, solar plexus, heart helps you lift. And we're just going to flip it upside down as we step forward, head down, toes up. Soft jaw, you can sway your head a little side to side. You can play with a bind around your ankle if that feels nice. And whenever it feels like time for you, you'll slowly step your left foot back, setting up for high lunge. Pull your outer right tush back, bring your hands in towards your heart, take a breath. And we'll twist, letting the heart lead in the rotation and in the spiral. And the arms are an extension of the heart. If the arms have been open, you can bring your hands back together. Find your center, back heel gets springy. Chair twist. Left foot steps to meet the right. Chair pose at center, big breath in. Crow pose or malasana, hands to the earth, or walk your feet out. Elbows inside your knees. In crow, you're breathing into the back of the heart. In malasana, the front of the heart. Downward facing dog. When you're ready, you can step back. You can flow, whatever feels right for your body. Inhale, come forward to high plank. Exhale, slow lower all the way down onto your belly. Locust pose. Hands could come down by your sides. They could interlace at your low back. Lengthen through the tops of your toes, and then you'll lift your chest, lift your legs, lift your hands. It might be that staying a little lower lets you actually breathe into the heart as opposed to the low back taking over. So just experiment with it here. Good. Come down to rest. Cactus your right arm down towards the earth. Palm facing down, plant your left hand. And you're gonna bend your left knee and reach your left foot over to the right side. This can be a lot on the shoulder, so if you want to stretch the arm out straight, you can play with that too. Breathing into all the muscles and connective tissue that supports the front of the heart. And then really gently stretch the left leg, come back onto your belly, rock a little side to side. You can cactus your left arm towards the earth, maybe scoot a little to the right of your mat. Plant your right hand, bend your right knee, and then let your right foot reach back behind you. Coming back onto your belly when you're ready. Rock a little side to side. You drove a lot of complaints today. Okay, bow pose we're setting up for. You could do it staying on your belly essentially. Reach back for your outer ankles and play with squeezing the heels in close. If you want to take flight, you can press back into your hands with your feet and let yourself lift. Deep, full breaths across the front of your chest. Goodness, Theo. You need a dick. Soft jaw. Take a big inhale. Exhale all the way down to the earth. Make a pillow with your hands for your forehead. Pause for a moment. Let your eyes close and just feel into for a moment. Is there a part of your heart that feels like it's hurting right now? Something that's happening with another person that maybe is difficult to navigate, or a moment where you felt misunderstood recently. And just let yourself rest at the heart and ask whether there is anything that it would like to reveal to you about this experience. Maybe it's just that it wants to tell you that it's been holding really tightly since it happened, or that there's a real ache in the left side. Just open to whatever information comes through. that tenderness to be what initiates the opening in your heart in whatever shape you take next. It could be cobra, it could be bow, it could be locust, but can it initiate from that inside place of listening and knowing? And just notice how that changes what the outside shape becomes, how much effort there is, what is needed. And breathing open into locust or bow or whatever pose you've chosen. Just feel into the strength and capacity that comes from this tenderness, and let yourself rest when it's time. When you feel ready, you can stretch back, sitting back on your heels, walking your hands back to stand tall on your shins for camel pose. Again, checking back in with your heart. It might be by sending your breath there or sending your hand there. Let your eyes close. Your hands can set wherever they like for camel pose, but letting the pose initiate from the inside. What parts are yearning to lift up towards the light or to be seen or heard? And how can we guide you here? Coming to rest. Bring your hands, the tops of your hands to the back of your sort of kidney area, lower back sides, and you're going to wrap your elbows in and tuck your chin to your chest. So my fingers are sort of wrapped around my back and curling in. Good, and then camel pose one more time if that feels right for you, from the inside out. Unfurling. And then coming to rest in the counter pose, wrapping your elbows in, chin to chest. Hands come out in front of you for tabletop position. Inhale, arch your back, gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, round your back. Tuck your toes, stretch back down in facing dog. Stretch your right leg up and back into the sky. Step your right foot forward. Drop your back knee to the earth. Half splits, straighten your right leg. Go ahead, rebend your right knee. Sweep your arms up, low lunge. And we're going to swing opposite arm as back leg. So right arm swings back for your left thigh, calf, or heel. Lift up and back, open through your chest and heart. Good, press down into your front foot. Inhale to rise up. Hands come down to the earth, standing splits. Tuck your back toes, lift. Hug your left knee in towards your chest, all the way up to standing. Setting up for dancer's pose. Left heel to your left bone cheek. Bring your right hand to your heart. Feel your breath. Lift your heart into your hand. Let that initiate the opening as you press back through your left shin. Maybe the right arm reaches out. Maybe it stays at the heart. All the way up to standing. Release your foot. Shake it out. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Make a little space. Reach your arms up when you're ready. Big inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, long breath in. Chaturanga or downward facing dog, whatever feels right in your body. Stretch your left leg up and back into the sky. And step your left foot forward, drop your right knee down. Half splits pose, shift your weight back. And when you feel ready, we'll start to rebend the left knee. Reach your arms up for a low lunge. Stay like this. If this feels good, you can let the heart lift. If you like, left arm swings back for thigh, calf, or heel, or block on your left side. From the front foot up, inhale, rise. Hands down, tuck your back toes, standing splits. Right knee hugs in all the way up to standing. Setting up for dancer's pose. Left hand to your heart. Find your breath first. Find your left foot on the earth. And then expand out. This doesn't have to be perfectly aligned to the front. There is no such thing, right? Let yourself twist. Let yourself reach and explore and bend your legs. Play with what feels right for you. When you're ready, release. Shake it out. Roll your shoulders. Then a big exhale. Inhale, reach your arms out one last time. Exhale, melt forward. Halfway lift, deep breath in. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin lower down to the earth. Cobra pose, inhale. Exhale to lower, stretch back, tabletop position. Thread the needle, lift your right arm up. Big inhale. Thread it back behind your left wrist. So I like to play around with these shapes like thread the needle, that in some ways there's a limitation, right? There's only so much space when you're threading your arms through. So how do we find spaciousness? How do we find our own bodily power and autonomy inside of a particular container that might be slightly containing? Is there more subtle opening in the back of the heart that's available? Good, your left hand can come down to the earth. Sweep your right arm up and out. Big breath. And right hand to the earth, round your back. Find neutral. Lift your left arm up, big inhale. And thread it back behind your right. Ground down into your right hand. Lift your left arm up, take a breath. And hand to the earth around your back. We're going to find our way to a seated position, so you can go back to down dog, hop through, you can drop your tush and sweep your legs around, whatever feels right for you to transition. Yeah, any forward fold that feels good in your body. So feet together, legs stretched out long, legs wide. Take a big inhale, lengthen up through your spine, and then gently fold forward. Forward fold is a back heart opener, right? So as you bow your chin gently to your chest, you might be able to feel the shoulder blades just slightly open. And breathe into the gateway between those two. Let yourself linger in the release of this fold as long as feels right. And when you're ready, we'll meet on our backs, so you can lift up, hug your legs in, roll all the way onto your back. You might like to grab a block or something to support. Some heart openers on your back. And then lying back, just check in with your long spine. Feel the spaciousness of sending your tailbone away, down towards your heels, and lengthening through the crown of your head. And when you're ready, walking the feet in, setting up for bridge pose or wheel pose, whatever variation feels right to you today. We'll just take a little time to explore these shapes. So lifting and lowering your own timing. You can put a block underneath you or between your legs. Pedro, no. Buddy, that's my hair. Love is also having boundaries with your cat, you know? Like, it's being clear about the parameters. This is part of the more challenging heart work. Is like really listening to our systems and honoring when something doesn't feel right, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Being willing to come down, to reset a position, a relationship, an organization of life force, so that we can be more deeply aligned. So give yourself the grace of being able to make adjustments and letting it mean that you're doing an impeccable job of listening. If your heart openers want to extend into shoulder stand position or block under the hips, legs up towards the sky, feel free to let that happen. Or letting the legs extend long with a block underneath you. If you're moving through shoulder stand, take your time to move through plow. If you've been lifting up in heart openers, we'll come down and reset for fish pose. So when you're ready, stretch your legs long. You can snuggle your hands underneath your glutes. Puff up onto your forearms, lift up onto the back of the heart. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release. Twice more. Big inhale. Exhale. Coming all the way down when you're ready. Happy baby pose. Feel the back of your heart soften. And you can bring the soles of the feet together, wrap your fingers around your outer feet, and hug your toes in towards your nose. Rock a little side to side. Then take the next 2 minutes to do any final movements that your body is craving. It might be a final inversion. It might be a final forward fold or a seated meditation. Let the movements, again, they're just going to emerge from the inside out. And invite yourself to trust what you hear. We can't always trust what we hear inside. It's true, right? But I think part of these practices is that we do them so that we get embodied invitations from the inside that are more true to the core of us. So it's less kind of the programmed voices of the brain and more the needs and the heart of the body. Take your time in these final shapes. Enjoy the space that you have.
And setting up for Shavasana or for your final resting position whenever you're ready. And that might include wrapping yourself in a warm blanket, or perhaps even finding an eye pillow or a soft pillow to place over your belly or your heart for a little bit of proprioceptive feedback and rooting. Take your time to get settled. There's no rush here. The whole point of this whole practice is so that we get into a place where we can give ourselves permission to move at our own pace. So it would be bananas if we rushed ourselves in the end. Take a moment here to just honor yourself for keeping your feelings, for keeping your heart such committed and exquisite company. And perhaps a big inhale and a soft exhale helps you to land in a space of rest. And as you soften in this resting position, let your attention come back into the heart and the space around the heart. Invite your inner ear to tune to the frequency of the space. And you might just offer a gentle invitation question and ask that space, what is needed here? What is it that I am deeply craving? And how can I invite myself to wake up to my own divinity and know that I am worthy of this, that which I crave, that which I seek? Aham Prema, the mantra that invites us to remember I am divine love. I am love that is divine. I am filled with a power that extends beyond me and nonetheless warms me. and invites me into deep relationship with my most magical, my most intuitive, my most raw and honest parts. To love myself is to love the earth, to love the trees, to love the moon. I am held by my trust in what moves through me. Give yourself the space to acknowledge where you are, how you feel, whether it's quite far from what you hope for or quite close. Just welcome the noticing. And when you're ready, you can find your way up to a seat or stay on your back if that feels right. Just notice what it's like to see through eyes that are rooted in the heart. Like, can you let your gaze come from the heart up? And how does it change the way that you orient to the world around you? A deep breath in and a full breath out. Okay. So I will read to you about the dragon, which is our card for today. Seeing the dragon is the magic of seeing one's true self. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into awareness. It is as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self beneath the self, the one who is watching. This is the power of the dragon breathing fire into every cell of our body. Witnessing this energy that flows through us, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We can let the dragon guide us and hop on its back for a ride, even as we traverse the most difficult terrain. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their inner fire is dim. May even the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence with you. So I think this is speaking to the part of heart work that we were talking about, right? Like the part of knowing our worth and worthiness. When we know it, when we've done the work of the third chakra, when we know our value, when we know ourselves, We're able to invest deeply in heart work because we know that we are worthy of it, right? And sometimes it's really hard to remember, which is why we don't start at the heart for the work. We start from the bottom up. And so many of us as yogis are so drawn to heart work, right? Me too. I did heart work for like a decade before I realized that there was actually like a bunch of work underneath that is inviting us there for a reason, right? So that when we get to the heart work, it is deeply supported. So that we know that we are held as we crack wide open and encounter the truest version of ourselves. Part of knowing that we are held is knowing that we're worthy of being in community. So the fact that you're here tonight says something about your willingness to engage with your own holiness, your own worth of being held, and your willingness to hold others in their transformative work. This is such an incredible gift. Heart work cannot happen without community. I love you all so dearly. Thank you for catalyzing my work and for being a witness to each other. It's such an honor and a gift. I love you so much. I hope you're having the sweetest week and you continue to do so. Happy August. It's bananas that it's August already, but I'm delighted to still be practicing with you.